So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I have the pleasure to introduce Genevieve from So Encourage. I think that's how you say it. I know Genevieve not in person, like person, face to face, but I've met her online, and I always um, I love her voice, and I love how she um, brings her knowledge to the world. So that's why I invited her, and I think it really complements brain gym and also kinesiology. So Genevieve is the founder of Soul Anchorage and the creator of internationally recognized certification programs in NLP, hypnosis, and trauma-informed change work. With a background in education, therapy, and leadership, she trains coaches, therapists, and change makers to facilitate lasting transformation by working with the unconscious mind. We're all familiar with that, right? So Genevieve believes the skills she teaches, like NLP and hypnosis, are the fundamental human right, and it's her mission to see these tools integrated into well-being programs in schools. Her work, her work supports. Just a second, something maybe at the door. Sorry, Jennifer. Dogs, come here. Oh, there's nobody home, just me. Okay, maybe I have to cut this out in the video. Sorry. Genevieve believes the skills she teaches, like NLP and hypnosis, are the fundamental human right, and it's her mission to see these tools integrated into well-being programs in schools. Her work supports everyone, from students to professionals, and significantly enhances results in every area of life and field of practice. If NLP and hypnosis speak to you, join us. And you did. It really complements brain gym and kinesiology. So we look forward to see your presentation. I give the floor to you. I will mute myself, and I hope others mute themselves as well, so we can enjoy your awesome presentation.
Thank you so much, Josie. Now, I've done my best to make this as experiential for you as possible, as well as, actually, I might just put this in the chat for you. That's not what I want to put in the chat. Now, I've created a little workbook for you. It does align with what we're going through tonight, but it's a resource that you can utilize in the future to go through a similar process to what we're going through tonight, in your own time and at your own leisure. It's also really good to be able to reflect on how far you've come. So it is a fillable form, so that you can save a record of the information that you've document in there and the changes that you make, because it's a really great opportunity to reflect at how far you've come and how much you've overcome as well. So firstly, thank you, Josie, for inviting me. It's so great to be here with you tonight, and thank you for attending. I have a lot of respect for the community of kinesiologists, and I do use a little bit of kinesiology in my own practice as well. I love the way that you honour the body, the energy system, and the deep, often unspoken wisdom within. Now, today's session isn't about techniques for your clients. It's actually about you. It's about the practitioner behind the practice. And here is something that I've learned both from my own journey and from training, excuse me, practitioners in NLP and hypnosis is that, and I'm sure you're aware of this, most practitioners are incredible at helping others. They're masters at showing up for their clients, holding space and guiding change, as I'm sure you all do every day in your own practices. But when it comes to ourselves, that's often where the boundaries can blur. So the vision can dim, the self-care slips down the priority list. And it's not because you don't know better, because you do. It's because knowing and doing are two very different skills, especially when you are so emotionally invested in the work that you do supporting others. So this session is your space. So it is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, your inner voice, and your vision. Because here's the truth. Your well-being isn't a nice to have. It's actually the foundation that your entire practice rests on. Without it, every technique you use and every client you serve is potentially compromised. So here is my personal belief. The skills I teach, the mindset tools, the processes for clearing blocks, they are, as Josie said, I believe these are a fundamental human right. It is my vision to see NLP and hypnosis techniques embedded into wellbeing programs in primary schools, so that future generations can grow up with them as naturally as they learn maths or reading, maybe even more naturally, given our NAPLAN scores at the moment. But the vision actually starts with us, with you. So because when we are resourced, when we're aligned and when we're clear, we don't just work better, we live better. And your clients feel it in every session. So today we're going to look in the mirror, not to judge, but to notice. So we'll uncover where you may be holding yourself back, and we'll experience tools to clear some internal resistance for you. We're going to set a goal, and we're going to anchor into more empowered states. So I will be asking you to participate. It's not a passive listen, this workshop. So we can use the chat, and you'll have time to reflect privately as well. You can share if you feel comfortable, but there is absolutely no pressure to do so, because this is for you first and foremost. So let's start with a little question. Was everyone able to access the link to the PDF that I put in the chat? Yes, good. Okay, so I'm going to read it slowly and just let it land. Don't rush to answer with your head. Allow it to sit in your body. So what needs to shift within me so that I can fully appreciate how special it is that I make my work available for the world to experience? Would you like me to repeat it? It's a long question. So what needs to shift within me so that I can fully appreciate how special it is that I make my work available for the world to experience? So take a slow breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you're comfortable, feel free to close your eyes. Drop your attention down from your head into your body. Notice your feet on the floor, your seat in the chair, and feel the rise and fall of your breath. As you hear that question again, notice what stirs. It could be a sensation, a picture, a word, maybe just a sense of something. You don't need to make sense of it yet. What needs to shift within me so that I can fully appreciate how special it is that I make my work available for the world to experience? What needs to shift within me so that I can fully appreciate how special it is that I make my work available for the world to experience? And when you're ready, open your eyes and I invite you to write. Not a perfect sentence, not a polished statement, just a stream of whatever is present for you right now. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Now remember, this isn't for me or anyone else. This is for you, and no one needs to see it. Good. Does anyone want to share a few words or phrases? You can do it in the chat or you can unmute yourself if you'd like to. There is a lot of words with I cannot do.
I don't have the time, I do not have time, or I do not have the knowledge or the expertise. Why would they pay me and not somebody else? I don't know that, or it's a big commitment. I don't want to commit.
Very
A
common.
lot of not, not.
Cannot, should not.
Not have a shoot basket.
Drop the vowel. Hannah, was that you or Annalisa? Yeah. Sorry, you're muted. I can't hear. I want to hear you.
Yeah, it just came in the first or second time you asked the question. It was just drop the veil and nothing more around it. It's so when Jessie started speaking, I was like, oh yes, all of those things there, but be visible.
Yeah, be you.
Yeah, don't follow someone's script. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Basically, there was fear, then an ache in my heart, and then frustration at not being able to practice because of others' needs. Beautiful, Kathy. Thank you for sharing. So I'll tell you what comes up most often in groups like this. So one of the most prevalent is imposter syndrome. And Josie, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. That nagging feeling, I'm not ready, or I'm not enough, or I don't know enough, or I don't have enough experience. All of those things often come up. A fear of being seen or judged often comes up too, that visibility. Pressure to be perfect before we put ourselves out there. And procrastination that can look like research or planning. I see you nodding there, Anna. Yeah, I've been there. I used to call myself a perfectionist. And then I realized, someone shared with me, that how can you be perfect if you don't put anything out there to get feedback on? And that really struck home for me.
I think the reason perfectionism is because I inherited that from my dad. See, my dad, he was a colonel, right, in the army, so everything had to be perfect. The shoe had to be polishing. So 33 pair of shoes every Saturday had to be shining. If it wasn't shining, I had to do all over again. So yeah, that's why I got this perfection. Everything had to be. I have to do not 100%. I have to do 110% to be perfect.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
otherwise failure.
yeah, that's right.
Mm.
So the common thread under all of these is that there's something inside whispering, or sometimes shouting, I'm not ready yet.
Mm.
So that's what we're here to shift today.
Interesting.
Mm.
Good.
Have
So,
the shiny shoes.
Oh,
Joe.
believe me, 33 pair of shoes, believe me, in those days where you had to polish, do the thingy first and then polish, believe me, very, very, a lot of pair of shoes shining.
Yeah.
For a
So
child,
now, sorry,
sorry,
go Anna.
for
You
a
go.
child of, 9 years of age, I was a very tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Just to give an example, not to give no more examples. Okay.
Mm. Yeah, I was a bit like that, but it was my mother.
Hmm.
So I was responsible for doing all of the ironing. And, you know, if I didn't the hankies properly, I had to redo them, but we ironed our tablecloths, our sheets, everything. It had to be perfect.
It's like the shirts. If the shirt wasn't right and the
Priestess.
pants, but yeah, forget about it. Gotta have to do it again. I know.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So now that we've had a brief opportunity to check in with ourselves and hear a few reflections from the group, I want to talk about something that comes up for every practitioner at some point, and that is getting stuck. So here's the thing. You can have all the training, all the skills, and you can still find yourself procrastinating, doubting, feeling flat, or even avoiding the exact work that lights you up. Why is that, do you reckon?
Conditioning minds, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So one reason is what I like to call the practitioner paradox. So we do the work that we do because we care. We serve from a place of love. We want to help people to heal, to grow, and to move forward. And somewhere along the line, we forget to serve ourselves with the same care and attention that we're giving to others. It's like pouring from a jug that you never refill. You might still be giving, but over time you start scraping the bottom and wondering why it feels harder than it used to. And it often comes, it's what we refer to as burnout traditionally. Okay. So this is where the unconscious mind comes in. So resistance doesn't usually show up as a big flashing sign that says stop. It shows up as, I'll get to that tomorrow. Feeling tired only when it's time to do the thing. Or taking on just one more thing for someone else instead of doing the thing for yourself, the thing that you want. And here's the kicker. That resistance isn't random. It's usually protecting something. So it could be a fear of judgment. If I put myself out there, people might not like what I have to say. It could be a fear of failure. What if I try and it doesn't work? It could be fear of success. What if it does work? And then I have to keep up with the demand. It could relate to past identity roles. A younger part of you might still see you as the shy one or the helper or the background person. And it could also relate to unmet needs. So there could be an inner part that is still craving safety, recognition, or even rest before it lets you move forward. So this is where we talk about parts work. And this will lead beautifully into the process that we're going to do later. So you may have a part of you that wants to expand, to show up and to do this thing. And another part of you that wants to keep you small, hidden, or safe. Neither part is wrong. But when they're in conflict, you feel like you're pressing the accelerator and the brake at the same time. And you're not going anywhere, and that in itself is exhausting. And then we have the good old imposter syndrome. That's where your capability and your identity aren't in alignment. So you might know you've got the skills, but you haven't yet fully become the version of you who owns them. It's like trying to fly with one foot tied to the ground. Not because you can't fly, but because part of you still thinks it's not safe. So, which one of these feels more relevant to you right now? You can pop it in the chat if you'd like to. Is it fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of success, a part of you that's in conflict, maybe imposter syndrome, or it could be something else? Oh, that's big, Josie. Yeah. I thought I had a fear of failure, and then I realized I had a fear of success. I have the skills but lack confidence. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. So, fear of being good. Stop listening to themselves. Yes, that's a big one. Yeah. And creating that codependency. Yeah. Yeah. Good. So, what I want you to take from this is that if you've been feeling stuck, it's not because you're broken, it's not because you're lazy, it's because there's something inside running an old pattern to try to protect you. And when you know how to work with that part rather than pushing against it, you can clear the block and move forward with heaps more ease. Heaps more ease. So I'd like to just talk about goals for a moment, the real kind, the ones that your unconscious mind can actually work with. Now, in NLP, a goal isn't just something I'd like to have someday. That's what I used to think that they were. So the definition that we use is an aim or an end in mind. Now, the problem is that most people don't define that aim in a way that their unconscious can lock onto it. They'll say things like, I want to be more confident, or I want to have less stress. The issue is these are quite vague, they're abstract, and goals are often framed in terms of what people don't want. So your unconscious mind doesn't process negatives the same way that your conscious mind does. So if I say to you, don't think of a blue tree, what happens in your mind? Absolutely, you think of a blue tree, because you must think of a blue tree to linguistically understand what I've said. Awesome. Well done, Josie. So often you'll need to think of a blue tree and then change it to being not a blue tree. So to process it linguistically, you have to first think of the blue tree and then eliminate it. Okay. So our unconscious minds do not process negations the way that our conscious mind does. Okay. So when we set goals, it's really important to be very specific about what you want and not include anything that is a negation. Less stress is a negation. Okay. So we do use the SMART model for our well-formed outcomes, but not the corporate version that you've seen on the posters. Ours is specific to how the mind creates and maintains focus. So S is for specific, which is traditional, and it is also for simple. So you need to make your goals clear, precise, and stated in such a way that a 6-year-old could understand. And that's for your unconscious mind. So when we talk about the inner child, we're actually referring to the unconscious mind. Okay. So the simpler it is, the easier it is for your brain to keep running it in the background. So we're in NLP, we refer to the conscious mind as the goal setter, and the unconscious mind is the goal getter. Has anybody here ever wished for more money? I have. Have you ever found change on the sidewalk as a result? Yeah. Okay. So that's your unconscious mind going, well, you told me you want more money and I've given you 5 cents there and you couldn't even be bothered picking it up. Really? Gets very confusing for the unconscious mind. And that's the importance of being specific. Yeah. So how much more money do you want? Be specific about it. Okay. Because the unconscious mind is also responsible for regulating energy and dispersing energy within the body. Its highest prime directive is the preservation of the body. So it's going to do as little as possible to get for you what you ask it for. So be very, very specific. Then the M traditionally is for measurable. In NLP, it also must be meaningful to you. So you need to be the initiator. It's not because your mother said, your father said, your partner said, your child said. It's because it's what you want. So it must be meaningful to you. Okay. It must matter to you personally. And the more meaning it has, the more compelling it will be for you to act on it. Then we have A for achievable. Now, we've added a couple of things in NLP to this. One is as if now. Now, what they've found is that goals that are written in the present tense are far more achievable than goals written in the future tense. And the other reason for it is if I say, next week, I want to have this, as I move into next week, where's my goal? Still a week away, right? Because I've said next week. If I fix it in time with a date, then it fixes it in time. And if I say I will have this by this date, I might achieve it before that date. But I will have achieved it by that date, so long as I'm congruent about it, that I don't have doubts or negative emotions or limiting beliefs associated with that goal. So we state it in the present tense as though it is happening now. Make sure it is achievable by you, not dependent on somebody else, and definitely not dependent on someone else changing. And we also have all areas of life under A. And what this means is we want to make sure any goal that we set works in harmony with all areas of your life. You don't want to achieve one goal while unintentionally creating problems somewhere else. And a really easy example of this is if I was to say, let's say 10 years ago when my children were a lot younger, because they're all grown up now, if I was to say, I want to travel heaps more at work, and I set a goal that I'll be traveling internationally with work and I'll be away every 2 months, that may not be really good being a single parent of 4 children, because it's going to affect what's happening in the family. So we want to make sure that we look at the consequences across other areas of our lives so that we can be 100% congruent with wanting this goal and aligned. Then R is for realistic in the traditional, and in an NLP we've added responsible. So is it realistic based on your current resources, your skills, your time frame? And is it responsible? Meaning, is it ecological for you and for others? So ecology is about checking, when I achieve this, will it benefit me and other people? So we look at it on a number of different levels. So if I get this goal, will I be happy with all the consequences? Will my family be happy with all the consequences? If you're working for somebody, will it have a positive impact on the workplace? How is it going to affect my community? How is it going to affect society? And how is it actually going to ultimately affect the world? And I think if a lot more people thought about this, we probably wouldn't be in the situation that we're currently in with our environment. Okay, so that's what we mean by responsible and ecological. And it's not just about us and our small existence, it's about what are the ripple effects out there for others. And then T is for timed. So we've already dealt with that by writing our goals as if now, because if we write them as if now, we have them timed. So set a specific date and time frame. And what we've also added here is make sure it's toward what you want. And so we always frame it toward what you do want, not what you don't want or anything you're trying to avoid. So instead of, I want to stop feeling anxious, we would want to frame it as, I'm feeling calm and confident. Okay. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to think of one goal that you would like to work on. It could be related to your practice. It could be related to your personal life, your growth as a practitioner, anything that is meaningful to you. Anything. So the way that it's structured is, and I'll put this in the chat actually, so it is now, and you can have time and date or just date, whatever you want. And I am, or I do, or I have. So as if now you've already got it. And then whatever it is that your goal is very specifically. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. Remember to keep it. Actually, I'll put these in there as well while you're doing that. Specific. How are you going with that? Yeah. Okay.
I thought I was really good in setting goals in the present time, but it really changes when you start. It is now, and I- it makes it really different because I do my goals, in the present time as it is already happening, but actually those three words makes a whole different. I don't know what I have to say, but it feels wider. It feels bigger, actually.
Absolutely. And that's a really great observation because the unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a vivid visualization and reality.
Mm.
So they did a test with basketballers and they split the team up into threes, and a third of the team had to shoot hoops. A third of the team had to do nothing, and another third of the team had to visualize shooting hoops. And obviously the ones that did best were the ones that shot hoops. But it wasn't a lot of difference between the ones who shot hoops and the ones who visualized shooting hoops, the improvement in their skill level. Whereas the ones who got to do nothing made no improvement at all. So it is really interesting. We can have trauma responses to dreams as well. So does everyone have a goal? Yeah. Does anyone want to check the structure of their goal, or do you feel comfortable with it? Do you have any questions about the goal? No? Good. Yeah, Anna. Catherine had a goal. Beautiful, Catherine. Because we're going to pop this goal in your future timeline in a minute. Are you popping it in the chat, Anna? Or are you just finishing your goal? You're good? Good. So now I want to bring this goal to life for you in your future using your unconscious mind's natural language, which is images, sounds, feelings, and timelines. So is everybody ready? Yeah. This is one of my very favorite processes of all time, I must say. So the 11th of August, I have my certificate in accounts administration and payroll. Fantastic. Has that been a bit of a journey for you, Anna, getting through that?
It's been a journey because really you have to be a left brain and I'm a right brain person. And being creative because I used to work as a graphic designer and all that. And coming from that to do doing accounts is like my father's son. He's like, wow. So it's really, I have to put my right brain to sleep for a bit. And then when I need to be creative, get the two things together, that's when I get. But it has been a bit of a challenge. There's days I feel like I'm not banging my head against the wall, to be honest with you, Genevieve. And the worst is because everything is done online. You don't have anyone to go, excuse me, can you please clarify that? So really you have to put on the questions online and you have to wait like 3 days later. So yeah, all that time consuming. So yeah, so it has been, I'll be very, very, very happy with myself. Yes, to have this big piece of paper, honestly.
Okay, so when will you have your certificate in accounts administration and payroll?
11th of October. That's the deadline.
Okay, so you've written August.
Oh, sorry. I'm in October. Sorry, excuse me.
It's okay, so long as you know when it is, because I was just a bit
Yeah.
confused. I was,
No. Sorry,
Hi,
I
what
meant to say October 11th
no,
of
fantastic.
October. Sorry, Genevieve.
No,
Sorry,
no.
darling. Because look, I even got here 11th of October on my piece of paper.
Because it's the end of the day and it is the 11th of August, so you've probably written the 11th of August, I'm sure. Fantastic. Okay, so no questions before we start?
I do. So,
Yes, Josie.
so if you, okay, are you not making a goal as it is happening right now?
Yes, but we're putting it into the future.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want to, are you comfortable to share your goal?
Oh, I have a few. I'm just playing around. I just, oh, one of,
So by when,
okay,
by
so
when,
okay, I will share my one.
Yep.
One of them is because I am always working on my own and I prefer that, but I think it's time to work with other people and I find it super scary. So I have like, it is now 11th of August, 2025, and I'm working comfortably with others. So should I say then another date then and not now? I'm sorry, I'm suddenly a bit confused.
yeah, I would do a future date, because what happens when we set goals in the future is when we drop it into the timeline, or the events between then and coming back to now will reevaluate themselves to support your goal. So it may be that you meet somebody who you're going to be collaborating with and working with, or in that time frame. But as a result of putting the goal in the future, the events will actually reevaluate to support that goal happening by that date.
Okay. But if it doesn't happen by the date, you're so disappointed.
But it will happen by the date unless you have a internal conflict.
Okay.
Around ecology, and there may be limiting beliefs that come up.
Okay.
You should actually have limiting beliefs come up when you set a goal or doubts. Because if you don't, then it's probably already within your ability to achieve it.
Okay, got
So
it.
you're not yourself out of your comfort zone. So if you set a goal and you get a fear response, Josie, like, you're worried about this, that's perfect for a future goal.
Got it then.
Perfect. Because that will expand your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And your levels of resilience. So is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yep. Excellent. Okay, let's do this.
Woohoo!
I know it's exciting.
Just thinking about it, I'm getting all the bubbles in my belly.
Yeah. And that's also why we do it as if now. Because then we actually build into our neurology having it now inside ourselves. So, because if you can have it, if you write it as if now and you can feel it as if now, it means you actually already have the resources you need to achieve it. All right. So get nice and comfortable. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. I want you to think about your goal. And in particular, I want you to think about the very last step that will let you know without a doubt that you have achieved it. So what is the last thing that has to happen that makes you go, yep, nailed it. Yeah, that's the one. And once you have it, I want you to make sure that you are inside the visualization, the picture. Make sure you are looking through your own eyes. And I want you to hear the sounds. Feel the feelings. And now we're going to adjust the qualities of that picture or movie in your mind to make it more compelling. So just adjust the brightness. Turn it up, turn it down until it's just right. And now adjust the color. You could make it richer, warmer, more vivid. You might want it kind of pastel-y, whatever gives you the most feeling. And now adjust the focus. You can sharpen it or soften it so it feels exactly right. And next, we're going to adjust the size and the distance. Bring it closer or make it bigger until it feels strong and certain. If it's framed, you might want to make it panoramic. If it's panoramic, you might want to make it framed. And just choose what feels best for you. If it's a movie, make it a still. If it's a still, watch it, make it a movie. Whichever feels most powerful. Now listen to the sounds, the voices. If there are people around you, what are people saying? Are there any ambient sounds around you? Just adjust all of the sounds. And what are you saying to yourself as you achieve this goal? Make the sounds rich and resonant for you. And now I want you to notice the feelings. Where in your body do you feel that sense of success, of having it already? Make that feeling stronger, warmer, and more expansive. And when you've got it perfect for you, step out of the picture for a moment. Make sure you leave your future self in the image so you can see yourself in the picture. Now, I want you to hold the image in your mind's hands. And in your imagination, I want you to float up above your timeline. Float right up above your timeline and out into the future to the exact date when you said you would have it. That date, the date by which you said you would have the goal. And when you get there to the exact date, just let it go and let it drop down into the timeline. Just let it go and let it float down into the timeline. And silently affirm in your mind, this will happen as though my word were law in the universe. And when you've done that, I want you to look back toward now along your timeline and notice the events reevaluating themselves to support your goal. Oh, and look out towards your future too. And notice how just this one thing changes everything. And when you've got that, and when you're ready, just float back to now. Just float all the way back to now. And when you're back at now, float down into the now, back into your body, feeling grounded, certain, and ready. And open your eyes. So take a moment to notice how that feels. What's one word, how you feel about your goal now? You can just put it in the chat if you like. One word. Beautiful, empowered, achievable, grateful, excitement, accomplished, success. Beautiful. Does it feel different to normal goal setting for you? Just writing it down, successful, happier, yay. Do you feel very motivated to achieve that goal? Yeah. So what was that goal made up of? Good, Kathy. That's great. Very different. So pictures, sounds, feelings. What are memories made up of? The same. Absolutely. So effectively what we've done is we've taken a memory, we've created a memory and put it into your future. So when you achieve that goal, you might have a little bit of a deja vu kind of experience with it. Yeah? Which is confirmation that you've achieved your goal. Yeah? Any questions about that? So now you know how to do it in a more compelling way for you by adjusting the way that we hold the vision of it in our mind and adjusting those submodalities, you know, the color, the brightness, the focus, the distance, the sounds, and the feelings, that having all of that involved creates a lot more momentum for us and motivation to achieve that goal, because we're not just chasing the idea of it. We're chasing the reality of how it feels for us to have it. Good. So when a goal is well formed and installed at the unconscious level, it stops being just a wish. Your mind begins to work toward it automatically. So if you notice resistance, that's not failure. That is really super valuable information. Because it means that there may be a part of you that needs attention before you can fully move forward in total alignment. And we're going to meet that part of you in this next process. So sometimes even when a goal is perfectly well formed, there's still a part of us that can hesitate. So it's not because, as I mentioned before, it's not because we're lazy, unmotivated, or broken. It's because the unconscious mind is trying to protect us. So all behavior we produce has a positive intention. Okay, otherwise we wouldn't produce it. Okay, may not get us the result that we're looking for, but it does have a positive intention that sits behind it. So often our unconscious mind will try to protect us using outdated strategies that no longer fit with who we are now. Okay. So in NLP, we call this parts work or parts integration. In other modalities, you might hear it called inner conflict resolution. And the principle is exactly the same. So when two parts of us want different things, we experience resistance. Procrastination could come out as anxiety, or it could even be self-sabotage. So here is the important thing. Every part of you, as I said, has a positive intention, even the part that seems to be holding you back in the now. So I want to guide you through a simplified version of a parts dialogue so that you can experience the power of meeting your own resistance with curiosity, not judgment. So you can do this process with your eyes open or your eyes closed. It's completely up to you what you feel whatever feels safest for you. So bring your goal from the last process to mind and really feel into it. And ask yourself, is there any part of me that resists this goal? If there is, just notice how you know. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it a sensation, a tension, a heaviness? Or is it more like a thought or an inner voice? There's no right or wrong here. We just notice. Now, if this part could speak, what would it say? It could be, it's not safe, you're not ready, you might fail, you might succeed. Whatever comes up. And I want you to thank this part. Yes, thank it. Because even though its method might be clumsy or uncomfortable, it is trying to serve you. Now, you can ask this part directly. What are you trying to protect me from? And don't overthink this. Let the first response come. Then ask, and what do you really need? And listen closely. Sometimes it will say it needs reassurance, safety, more time, proof. Sometimes it will say it needs permission to rest. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. And if it feels right, offer it that need now, even symbolically. You might imagine surrounding it in light. giving it a tool, changing the scene, or simply telling it, I hear you, I've got you. When you feel that this part has been heard and received what it needs, see if it's willing to work with you toward your goal. If it is, imagine it moving closer, maybe even merging back into your center, so you feel more whole and more aligned. If it's not ready, that's okay. Simply let it know you'll keep listening and you can revisit it anytime. When you're ready, you can come back into the room. What did your part say it really needed? Beautiful. Love and to hold their hand. That's gorgeous. Time and integration. Acceptance, that's a big one too, isn't it? So you might notice that when you meet resistance this way, it often softens, not the harsh critic that we're used to. So alignment isn't about forcing yourself forward. It's about bringing all of you along for the ride. So when you do that, your energy stops being split between I want this and I'm not sure it's safe. And you become congruent, and that congruency has the ability to change everything. Okay. So now we've looked at your goals and addressed inner resistance, or a way in which you can address inner resistance. I want to focus on something that we started off with, which is your well-being as a practitioner. So as I mentioned, you can have all the skills, all the techniques, the deepest compassion for your clients. But if you're depleted or overwhelmed or you're running on empty, then you can't show up as your best. And practitioners are notoriously bad at taking care of themselves. We'll just be completely honest about that. So we know that what we recommend to our clients, yet we forget to give the same care for ourselves. It's like the old saying, the doctor who smokes, the nutritionist who skips meals, the therapist who never rests. So we can know better and still not do better for ourselves. So well-being isn't indulgence. It's not an optional extra. It's a professional responsibility. So the way you feel in your body and your mind, and you know this, it directly influences your energy, your presence, and the results that your clients get. So when you're regulated, you're grounded, and you're feeling resourced, you are able to hold space without feeling drained or being drained. You can access creativity, your intuition, and your compassion a lot more easily. So I want to give you a tool that you can use in real time in between sessions or whenever you notice overwhelms or self-doubt creeping in for you. So has anybody here done NLP anchoring? Yeah, fantastic. Beautiful. So it's a way of linking a specific physical trigger to a powerful, resourceful state so that you can re-access it instantly whenever you choose. So we're going to create a personal anchor. It can be, actually, maybe I'll tell you what we're going to do. We might do, is everybody happy with calm, confidence, or something like that? Great, Catherine, that's fantastic. Is everybody happy with those kind of states? Calm, confident, competent, that sort of stuff? Okay. So you can actually pick whatever state you most want to embody when you're working with clients, but a really powerful, positive state. Or even when you're showing up for yourself, that might be good too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do our thumb and forefinger. Okay, so when you feel yourself go into the state and feel it rising in your body, you put the anchor on, and you need to use enough pressure so that your fingernail slightly changes color. Okay, same spot. So when you anchor, you use the same spot, same pressure every time. Yep, beautiful. So first, I'd like you to think about a time when you felt deeply calm, confident, empowered, whatever state is most relevant for you. A really powerful experience of that state in your past. Doesn't matter if it was in a client session or in your personal life, as long as it's a genuine memory that you have. Has everybody got one? Yeah, beautiful. And I'll just wait for Lois and Alicia. You got one? Yeah, good. Beautiful. So step into the memory, float right back to that time, float down into your body. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and most importantly, feel the feelings of being totally in that positive emotion. Notice where in your body that feeling lives. Let it expand, intensify, and grow stronger. And as the feeling begins to rise, gently press your thumb and forefinger together. And as you feel the state start to go down, release the anchor. Good. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and exhale slowly. Now we're going to do another one where you felt another really positive resource that you can utilize for yourself or when you're working with clients. So think about that time when you felt that positive resource deeply. a specific time. Yeah. And when you've got it, go back to that time, go right back to that time, float down into your body. Make sure you're looking through your own eye. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and really feel the feelings in your body. Notice where in your body that feeling lives. Let it expand, intensify, and grow. And as you feel it rising in your body, gently press your thumb and forefinger together. This simple movement will become your anchor, your switch for these states. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly, keeping your thumb and forefinger together as you hold that state. And when you start to feel that state diminish, release your fingers and open your eyes. Don't think of a blue tree. All right, so if we've done this well, press your thumb and forefinger together and fire off that anchor, and notice that you can access those feelings. We've done it well. Yeah. Well done, Anna. Well done, Josie. Is it working for you? Yeah. Good. Fantastic. So I always do anchoring with my clients, and I always teach them how to self-anchor. Okay. Because the most powerful states to anchor are naturally occurring states. So I don't get to anchor people like that in naturally occurring states very regularly in therapy, because I have to break their state to ask them if I can touch them. Or even the asking can break the state. So laughter is the best medicine, by the way, in our nervous system, absolutely. So sometimes I'll tell people, go and hire the funniest movie you've ever seen, and then every time you laugh out loud, I want you to anchor it. And you can create anchors anywhere on your body. So the only thing is you don't want other people to be able to accidentally fire off your anchor. No one can fire that off for you. That's something you need to do for yourself. My anchor's here, just on my ear, my lobe, my ear. Because women can touch their ears without it being unusual, but it's a very unique spot, and no one's going to fire that off accidentally. Okay. So, and you can move your anchors too. So if you fire that and you feel it, then you can transfer it to another place on your body. But when we're doing it online, this is obviously easier to show people how to get people to do it. And when we do it in person, we use the knuckles on the hand. So realistically, just every time you're feeling really amazing, just stack your anchor. Because the more you fire it, it will diminish in power. So you've got to keep stacking it as well to maintain that high level. So when you finish with a client, you go, gee, that was such a great session, I really love that, then fire it, stack it. If your pets, does everybody here have pets? Yeah, you know how they know, Catherine doesn't. So when your pets look at you with that unconditional love, stack it. When you've just nailed a presentation at work, stack it. When you've had a difficult conversation and it's gone all beautifully, stack it. Any positive, naturally occurring positive experience that you have, absolutely stack it. And then you can fire it before every client session, in moments of self-doubt, when you need to shift gears quickly. So you might want to anchor in competence, confidence, strength, love, a time when you felt totally loved, a time when you could have it all, a time when you had so much energy. Anything, just anchor it in there. Because over time, your nervous system learns to respond to the anchor instantly, giving you a fast track back to a resourceful state. So this is part of how we build resilience as practitioners, how we train our systems to come back to balance faster and more effectively. Okay. So we've covered quite a bit. So you've reflected on what's holding you back. You've set goals in a way that speaks directly to your unconscious mind, and you've learned tools to shift your state. Now, before we close, I'd just like to lock this in, not just in your mind, but in your body. Because as you know, our bodies remember. Our physiology reinforces everything that we do. So if you're able, can everybody stand up in their space? Is that possible? Oh no, my screen just went off. Oh, there we are, we're back. I think I went a bit high, maybe. So I want you to embody the version of you who knows that you belong in this work. The version of you who trusts your skills, your experience, and your right to take up space in your profession. What does that look like for you? Maybe you roll your shoulders back. Maybe you lift your chin slightly. Maybe you take a wider stance, grounding your feet on the floor. Maybe your breath slows. Adjust your body until it says, I'm here, I'm ready. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, letting your belly expand. Exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension. And then do it again. In and out. And as you breathe, notice what's different about how you're standing, how you're holding yourself. What's shifted compared to the beginning of our session? And ask yourself quietly, what is different about me now? What will I do differently from this space? Just let whatever comes to mind arrive naturally. If you want to deepen this, you can add a small physical anchor, maybe touching your heart, or another gesture that works for you. This will be your signal to your nervous system to return to this state later, whenever you need it. Remember, the mind follows the body as much as the body follows the mind. By shifting your physiology right now, you're telling your unconscious, this is who I am when I am resourced, confident, and clear. And the more often you return to this posture, this breath, and this inner dialogue, the more natural it becomes. You can see lots of yawning integration going on. And when you're ready, just sit down. So what's one word that describes how you feel in your body right now? Oh, beautiful, Leslie. Yay. Flowing, lighter and confident. Lovely, Anna. Confidence. It's nice. Present. Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it? Relaxed. More relaxed. It's beautiful, Catherine. So your well-being cannot be a side project. It's the foundation of your impact. You're not here to prove yourself. You're here to remember yourself. When you are aligned, your work becomes magnetic. When you are resourced, your clients absolutely feel it. When you take care of your inner world, the outer work becomes effortless. So I want to thank you for showing up for yourself tonight. You've got tools now you can utilize to realign, to reset, and move forward with clarity and confidence. And I absolutely trust that you will use them. So remember, you don't have to wait until you have time to take care of yourself. These processes take minutes, and they're worth it because you're worth it. So, any questions? Does anyone have any questions for me?
I'm very grateful you came tonight. Possibly it was the right timing for me, and I'm sure it's for other people as well, for the people who showed up, because there's always a reason why we show up to certain things.
100%. And I'll pop this in the chat again for people who arrived after, because I think if it's in there before you arrive, you can't access it in the chat. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
You're very welcome, Leslie. So there's the in the chat. So if you want to download it, it's just a mini ebook that's got the reflection questions and the processes in there for you.
Yes.
It's
So you're
Thank you.
welcome to put your website address in it as well if you like. Because also you.
It might. I think it's on the ebook.
Okay.
On the
practitioners.
practitioners.
So sorry, I'm a
Sure,
bit
it will
spaced
be.
out, like maybe other people. But because you, yeah, okay. I need to write a little bit. Sorry. It was
Well, I just hope you're totally relaxed and
totally relaxed.
inspired by your own abilities now.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for spending your evening with me. I really, really appreciate it. It's been such a pleasure to be here to offer support to you. in this way.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing up, Genevieve, and sharing your passion, because it really shows. And thank you others for showing up, on a Monday night. And I'm sure if you have any questions, or I don't know, Genevieve is happy to answer when you maybe
Absolutely.
private
Yeah,
message,
absolutely.
I think PM on Messenger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
And Josie, I'm happy to be part of your future goal around working collaboratively with other people too.
um, maybe I have to do it. Hang on. Oh, okay, I am correct. Hang on. Okay. Let me.
All
Okay.
right, you can just sit, I can just sit on your list when you think of something that you're going to do, then you can just go, oh, I'll contact Jen about that. Yes, I'll put my actually what I might do is, Josie, I might share a feedback form with you.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Share people who've come or who you share the session to,
Yeah.
because my number one value is excellence
Yeah.
in what I do. It
Okay.
used to be perfectionism, but that doesn't actually exist because there's no such thing. So I'd love to get some feedback from you. So in regards to the format or the processes, or if there are things that you would have liked to have had more deep in or gone into more deeply, then just let me know. And that might give Josie and I a little bit of a framework around, oh, well, so-and-so said that they wanted to do more.
Okay, watch this space. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
And
turn the recording off for a moment. So thank you a lot. I will send the forms and the recording to the people who attended. And
so I've got
that's it.
my email in here.